My name is Kaitlin Rose. I live here in Kalamazoo, but I am originally from Delton, Michigan, just in between Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids. I started playing music when I was 15. Well, I started playing guitar when I was 15. I was a really bored teenager in Delton. If you've ever been to Delton, Michigan, it is a little farm village. And when you're 15 and you don't have your driver's license yet, there's not a ton you can do. And I was really sick of swimming in our lake. And I remember that my mom had a guitar in the closet, and I asked her if I could learn on it. She said yes. So she taught me how to tune it. And then I started playing that day. So that was really the beginning, was like, just took being bored in the Michigan summer in a small village, just took me, that's all it took. And I started playing guitar that day. And then my mom got me some Jewel songbooks, and I started learning Jewel songs. So after I started learning chords from the Jewel songbooks, because that showed the cool little pictures of like, this is D, and the little dots mean put your fingers there. And that was really how I started learning how to play guitar. Then I quickly found out what chords were like the easiest for me to play and my favorite sounds. Like I really went into liking the darker chords, like the minor chords, which now I know. But anyway, I was an avid journaler, and I realized listening to Jewel's songs and then listening to other songs too, that that's really what songs were, or at least personal songwriting type of songs, were journal entries, kind of morphed and stretched and evolved into a song. And so I just started looking at my journals and started writing in that way, in that style of thinking about kind of poetry and journaling and the fusion of those two things together. And then, pretty quickly after I started playing guitar and playing those Jewel songs and getting a feel for song structure, started writing songs. So that was right around 16, that first, right around my birthday when I turned 16.
Don't know where it's leading, looking for a painted arrow on the ground. Your back is sturdy and your shoes are new, looking for somewhere where no one knows you. You step into a new town, just one more face, and the people walking by bump your shoulders. Not a memory to hold dear, no one knows your story here. You're just another stranger passing by, and it's a sweet, bittersweet journey when you don't exactly where to go, but somewhere out there there's a shadow of a place that'll welcome you home, welcome you home. It can be lonesome when no one can really see you and find something about you they don't like. But what about on on one of those dreary, cold and quiet nights when you lay and dream of someone by your side. Well, it's a sweet, bittersweet journey when you don't know exactly where to go. But somewhere out there, there's a shadow of a place that'll welcome you home. Yes, somewhere out there, there's a shadow of a place that'll welcome you home. Welcome you home.
So I started out on my mom's guitar. It was a 1976 Alvarez, and I played on her guitar for a while. I recorded my first album on my mom's guitar. And then through the sales of that album, my mom's friends, my dad's friends, and like neighbors, I'm sure like my friends' parents were really generous, and they were like, oh, sure, that's cute, we'll buy your CD. And I ended up selling 80 CDs. And so I took all that money, I saved every single penny of it, and I went and bought my own guitar, which is the guitar that I still play, and you'll see, or you saw in these songs that I'm playing at the Fretboard Festival. I play that Martin guitar and have ever since. It's really my favorite guitar, and I got that at Dillon's here in Kalamazoo, which is no longer around. The type of art that I create, and this is something that I have really actually just recently come to, I don't know, to terms with or to accept about myself. Like every person who is an artist who makes art makes it differently and makes it for different reasons. And so I'm learning still how to respect my craft and what I do and how it serves me, and then also maybe how it helps other people. And to honor that. And so my art and the art form that I have is to write songs and sing and play them and, you know, arrange music or orchestrate music for other people to play. And it helps me because it is just, the whole process from beginning to end is very therapeutic. And like journaling prior to songwriting, it really helps me process what's going on in my life and my emotions and reactions to things both in my personal life and in the world, like the song The Flood, that was inspired by a little part in a book that is one of my favorite books. And I've just learned over time that my way of incorporating my art into my life is just to take the experiences that I'm going through or feeling really deeply and transfer that into songs.
Cross your fingers survive all the hard work that you put in. When the day is closed and to bed you go, pull the covers back that you alone made. You're making it. You're making it. You're making it. Ooh, you're making it. You're making it on your own. You're making it.
So similarly to myself and how my art helps me, like I really, really hope that my art helps other people process their emotions. So if you don't necessarily have the vocabulary, for instance, that's just one part of it. Like if you're struggling to name your feelings or struggling to, put an experience into some sort of package where you're like, okay, this is what happened. This is how it made me feel. I want some validation, like if you can put it in a space that makes sense, then it can help you process what happened and learn how to integrate that into your life and not be traumatized by it. And so that's really what I strive to do with songs that, they start out as my experiences, but I try to write them in a way that makes them relatable. I really try not to make my songs too personal so that they can still be relatable to other people. I don't make them very, very specific, like reading my journal out loud to people. I would never do that, but I take parts and try to just massage them into more relatable ways so that, people can still relate to them in some way, and then plug in their own experience and make it feel a little bit, fingers crossed, if you get it right, I think it's helping people feel like it's their song. They can relate to it that much. They're like, oh my gosh, she's singing my song. Like, I really needed that. And that's really the greatest compliment that anyone can give me after I'm done singing or playing a show, is coming up and telling me, like, that one song, man, that was the one that really got me feeling, I really want people to feel, as scary as that can be sometimes, but I think feeling is important.
We were watching the planes, waiting for signs, kerchief over our mouths, hands above our eyes. The sound of the wind and the sound of the rain almost sound the same. This was years before the train. Mama feels penned in underground. She hangs lace curtains where the windows would be, and always threatens this'll be the last storm we pray through, should we make it out. and climb. It'll be alright, little sister, try not to cry. We'll take turns thinking of verses to recite. We just have to make it through the night. The sun rose and the current had slowed enough for us to climb down. And we walked hand in hand home, afraid of what we'd find. What if there was nothing left behind? I saw him first, then he saw us, three little children walking through the mud. And we heard Mama scream in the crack of the porch screen, and we all cried the way you do when you must.
I just want to say again that I'm really honored to be here and considered, really, with all the wonderful musicians who are playing at the Kalamazoo Fretboard Festival, and I just really am thankful to be, included in this community here in Kalamazoo, and really proud to be a member of the community. So thanks for having me, and I hope you enjoyed listening to my music and me answer these wonderful questions, talking to you through the lens. Hopefully we don't have to do virtual way too much longer, but in the meantime, I'm glad that I get the opportunity to be here in the first place and talk with you and connect. So thanks for having me. Ding!
Ding! Your time is up.